The Dark Legacy of Tuskegee, Uncovering the Unethical Syphilis Study. The Tuskegee Study, a dark chapter in medical history, is unveiled in this video. Discover how a supposed health program turned into a heart-wrenching tale of exploitation, deception, and blatant disregard for human rights. In 1932, the U.S. Public Health Service launched the study in Tuskegee, Alabama. Its aim, ostensibly, was to understand untreated syphilis in African American men. However, the study's true nature was far more sinister, as you'll soon discover. The participants, approximately 600 African American men, were made to believe they were receiving treatment for bad blood. In reality, most of them were purposely left untreated to observe the progression of syphilis, a severe sexually transmitted disease that can lead to death. Years passed. Penicillin was discovered as a cure for syphilis, yet the men in the study were kept in the dark. Instead of receiving a life-saving treatment, they were fed false hopes and damaging lies. The Public Health Service continued to monitor these men, subjecting them to torturous medical examinations and autopsies post-death. Families were left devastated, clueless about the cruel game that cost their loved ones' lives. The truth emerged only in 1972 when a whistleblower exposed the study's grotesque secrets. The public was horrified. The government, under immense scrutiny, was forced to end the study. It wasn't just the end of a study, it was the shattering of trust, the violation of ethics, and an intense betrayal. The Tuskegee Study went down in history as a grim reminder of the severe consequences of unchecked power and racism. In 1973, the survivors of the study, along with the heirs of the deceased, filed a class action lawsuit. The outcome? A $10 million settlement and the promise of lifetime medical benefits. But could it ever truly compensate for the lost lives and broken trust? In 1997, President Clinton officially apologized for the Tuskegee study. But the apology, albeit a necessary step towards justice, could not erase the painful memories imprinted on the survivors' minds. The Tuskegee study's legacy is not merely a historic event. It continues to resonate today, fueling mistrust in healthcare systems, particularly among African Americans, a grim testament to the deep-seated effects of medical racism. Efforts are being made to mend the wounds inflicted by the Tuskegee study. The establishment of ethical guidelines for clinical trials, informed consent processes, and the mandatory inclusion of minorities in research are some steps forward. Yet, the fight against medical racism is far from over. Health disparities still exist, and the shadows of Tuskegee linger. It is our duty to ensure that history does not repeat itself. As we conclude this video, let's not forget the Tuskegee victims. They were not just subjects in a study, they were fathers, sons, brothers, and husbands. Their suffering must fuel our quest for justice and equality in healthcare. The Dark Legacy of Tuskegee is a call for action. It urges us to champion ethical practices, fight against systemic racism, and ensure that every individual receives the medical attention they rightfully deserve. Remember Tuskegee. Learn from it. Change the future. Together, we can ensure that such a dark legacy never recurs in this world.